What boys and girls, what is going on? My name is Rex and this is your daily chat, episode 146 for what the hell's the date today? August the 31st, 2016. Jesus Christ, I hate working with virtual KVMs. Sometimes the mouse is such a pain in the ass to try and work with. Goddamn. But yes, guys, what is going on? Now, let me address something super quick that is being brought up in the chat channel. Hang on, I need to get my chatty open here. I forgot to open it. Where the hell's chatty? There it is. Bam. Okay, so, Bo in the channel says, when you said you were going live around 12 a.m. Mountain Time, I didn't realize you meant Arizona Mountain Time. No. Actually, and I see you put the cap there, but I am going to address this. I meant Alberta time, like Mountain Time. Unfortunately, what happened was my internet was so poor on my 50 by 10 connection, I was getting 10 by 2. So on a 10 by 2 connection, you can't simulstream. You cannot simulcast on a 10 by 2 connection because a single good quality stream takes 2.5. So based on that, you can't have two of them. So I ended up having to flush the DNS, clear the TCP/IP stack, reset the router, and then on top of that, I'm like, well, I have to take a shower anyway from the gym. So I went, took a shower, shaved my face, shaved my chest, shaved my balls, got into my dress clothes, and then we're like, okay, we are now live. Let's do this thing. And I just realized on the Beam.Pro side, we have a lot of buggy lighting, and we're probably going to have it here too. So let me quickly fix the camera for the Twitch side. And Lucky Luke, what is going on? Hang on, guys. I'm just trying to. I gotta remember. I just restarted my computer, and I never restart the damn thing, so I have to fix things like autofocus. Okay, give me one quick second. And boop. There we go. Okay, Beam.Pro people, you should have a better lighting on the camera now. Wow, this shirt looks like super baller on the Twitch side and super potato on the Beam side. It is actually really kind of funny on how much two of the same not two of the same, but two of the same series of cameras can really make such a difference with the lighting. So yes, what is going on, everybody? How are you guys all doing this evening? I am making a joke, wasn't trying to be. No. Bo, don't worry about it, man. It's something that I do like to address because right now we have been super consistent with the times, and to be an hour late is kind of a big problem. So it's something that I want to address really fast. Once again, on the Beam.Pro side, guys, we're still doing the simulcasting tests. So please let me know how it sounds. I forgot actually. Now that I think about it, I forgot to adjust the audio delay or the total delay on the Beam side. I'll do that tomorrow. But it's fine though. You guys are still doing good. As for yesterday, man, I was chatting and I was looking over my my stats from yesterday. Man, you guys freaking killed it for me yesterday. Thank you so much for all the support you guys gave me yesterday on both sides. I was absolutely blown away by how good it was. And I know for sure on the Beam side, if I can keep the growth I have going here over there, I'm going to be number one on Beam. It's going to be pretty great. And just like that, I got to ask, Devious, are you in TeamSpeak? I know it's super early over there, so I was kind of worried if I was going to message you or not. But are you available on TS, bud? God damn it. I have got to turn off arrow auto minimize and all that other crap. Let me get this working here.
Connected. Channel switch.
Okay, well, if you're on TeamSpeak, bud, I am in your TeamSpeak. But yes, so let's talk about the big story of the day. Lucky Luke. Hey, Rex, remember when I sent you the Immerger? I have a bit above average for my city. Oh, okay. It's all good, man. Arizona time, so I guess we're on the same time. Yeah, exactly. I can be. Dude, pop on. Why not, man? Why not? Pop on. We haven't talked in a while. So, what was I saying, though? Let's talk about the big story of today. Now, for most of you, I'm sure, even if you don't watch this guy, you have to know his name. Philip DeFranco. Probably one of the most OG YouTubers on YouTube. Been on the website for 10 years. One of the original people who made this thing his career. Posted a video today saying that YouTube now is going to be enforcing their advertising guideline standards. Meaning, if you have anything that's not ad-friendly, meaning you're swearing, you've got graphic content, you've got anything like that, they're going to have the right, they reserve the right, and they've always actually had this and they just never really used it, to withdraw monetization ability from your video. Philip DeFranco, Damien, is a big news channel here on Twitch. Or not Twitch, on YouTube. Massive news channel. He covers about 4 to 5 stories a day. Never all of them, like, not all of them are happy stories. Not all of them are super sad stories. He covers, like, a good mix of, like, you know, the rapist Toby Turner, who raped a chick in an alleyway. He covered that story. What else did he cover? A few people. If it's not for comedy or context. Well, that's the thing. It is for context. Like, he covers major news stories because a lot of people don't get their news from anywhere else other than YouTube. Like, YouTube is a great place to do it. And it has been blowing up here on Twitch today. You would, if you follow channels like Boogie2988, Review Tech USA, any of the other major news channels, they all would have been covering it today. And I agree, Lucky Luke, it is absolute bullshit. In fact, if you have anything in your titles, in your tags, anything in your images, anything, even content, even for what you're saying, you could lose your monetization rights from that video. It's actually really, really stupid. And it's causing a big ruckus on YouTube right now. Ad friendly, what kind of ads do you get but the ads you get for YouTube, like no filler? Well, that's just it though. Like, CNN has a thumbnail on one of their images of a kid covered in dirt and blood from the war in, I think, Syria. And they're fine. They haven't lost any monetization rights. But God forbid I put one in, I would lose monetization rights instantly off my video. And what really pissed me off, actually, was in watching a few of the videos while I was trying to fix my internet. I was watching Boogie2988 cover the story. And he was saying, oh, yeah, that's been on my channel for like a year now, and I just never really paid attention. I'm like, bitch, you don't think something like that is worth bringing up to the YouTube, like, community? Like, are you serious right now? No, if you've had that for a year, I call BS, because you should have broke that story. Absolutely. Something like this should not have waited a year for it to break out. It should have been broken immediately, because that's a big thing. A lot of people on YouTube who are not, you know, multi-100,000 plus subscriber channels, they still make a decent, not a decent living, but they make enough in ad revenue where that is a big factor, because they don't push t-shirts or merchandise. All they do is make content, ad revenue. Maybe a Patreon thrown in here and there. But yeah, it's absolutely horrific in terms of what this could mean for a lot of channels. Even something like myself. Like, this show in particular, the Daily Chat, is something that could get flagged easily based on the content that we cover, because we cover literally everything. Like, pretty much, there's nothing I won't cover on this show. And that could be really bad for myself. It means I would have to really watch what I say. Now, mind you, I don't make my living on YouTube yet, so I really don't care. If I lose monetization on the Daily Chat, so be it. Not a big deal. I get red band trailers from movies and crap. What the hell is red band? I have actually never heard of that whatsoever. Sorry, drink time. But yeah, what do you guys think about this whole thing? What do you guys think about losing monetization rights? I know most of you are probably not YouTubers in the sense that you make like consistent content. I'm sure a few of you make like videos that you throw up here and there for games and stuff, but I'm sure most of you aren't like consistent uploaders. But this has to like alarm you in a lot of ways, because it could be the end of your favorite channel. It could be a big problem. And I'm actually a little bit worried about that, because some people might pack up. And one of the big things being thrown around is the fact that this is a form of YouTube censoring their content creators. And B, it's also a way that it seems like it's an unofficial way of them trying to push out people that are potentially bad for the image of YouTube. Like people like Philip DeFranco, who, while he has well over 4 million subscribers, while he pulls in hundreds of thousands of views a day, he's one of the most recognizable faces on YouTube. From a brand and advertising perspective, you would actually have to kind of think touch and go on how his projection could affect YouTube. It sucks that it might stop new creators from making videos. Yep. I used to make a vid per week with friends, stopped a few months ago. Yeah, you know what? It's rough, and I don't care for the 3 cents a month it will take away from me. Yeah, you know what? The algorithm itself pays out pretty poorly, but for some people, man, that money adds up fast. I have a friend from last term in college. He has about 7,000 subs, he makes a decent amount. I think he makes like $60 a month. He makes decent beer money for the month, which, you know, hey, you're not like scoffing at when all you think about is you make video game content. Like, it's not like it's labor intensive. You play the game that you're gonna play anyway, hit record, edit it down a little bit, throw some funny jokes in there, and bam, instant cash. It's actually
true, but that also depends on metrics. You know, if people are, you know, if you're getting 1,000 views on your video, but they're only watching the first 30 seconds.
Well, and there's a lot that goes into it. There's no single factor that goes into how you make your money.
Very true, yeah.
There's no single factor. And I can tell you that from my personal perspective, from my personal experience, if you just look at your Google Analytics page, pretty much if whatever's shown on the front page is being taken into account on how you make your money, which means there's about a page worth of crap that you have to look at and figure and try and reverse engineer how this algorithm works.
I was just about to say that, Bowtie. Genuinely, I was just about to address your point. Red Band, it's basically a sort of easy graphic visualization of an age restriction.
Okay.
So red band would be like 18, green band would be like PG, so on and so forth.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
Or universal, you know, sort of, Pixar movies.
Right, okay. For Power Vids in the channel and for everyone else, over the last 2 days, I have been telling you guys that there's a co-host to this show. Believe it or not, it's not just me. While my name is like, front and center on the headliner, there is an actual co-host to the show. And this is him. And mind you, like I said, he lives in Europe, as you can tell. So our time schedules are a little bit touch and go for most days. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for both of you on Beam and on Twitch, let me introduce you to Devious Furball. Probably what has got to be the voice of Twitch. The single sexiest voice, and the one that has been actually instrumental in how this channel has grown over the last year.
I is sexy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry it takes so long to reply. It's not that I type so. I just have the worst spelling anyone in my education. Don't worry about it, man. You take your time, bud.
Honestly, Bo, I'm exactly the same. You wouldn't most people don't peg me as an idiot, let's say. But I am a slow typer. I genuinely am. I mean, I'm not an incompetent typer. I'm eloquent. I have good punctuation. But my friends, they just sound like they're mashing their keyboard with their face when they type.
Right.
And I'm just not that fast. I'm exactly the same as you, Bodzai.
No, dude, I'm a total potato when it comes to typing. That is actually probably the only thing I'm worried about for coding in the coming term for programming class is for my practical tests. It's like complete this code. It's like I can know everything I'm doing, but if you're a slow typer, it's like good luck making the time. It's like, oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, you know what? Since these are literally all new people that for the show, these are none of the regulars that we are used to having. Why don't you go ahead and actually tell them about yourself?
Wow. Okay. My name, or what people know me by, is Devious Furball. I am an ex-military Marine engineer. After leaving the Navy, injured, I could no longer be an engineer. So I had to look for something else to do with my life. And with lots of people saying that I should do, narration or voice work or something similar, I became a voice actor. I'm currently, I'm under NDA, non-disclosure agreement for things like Starfighter Inc. and a couple of other projects. But yeah, in short, that's kind of who I am. I'm a salty old sea dog that got broke in the military, that had to find something else to do with their life, and so they became a voice.
Right, exactly. And for those of you guys in the channel, when I say regulars, I'm not saying that you guys aren't regulars. You are actually my new regulars. But you have to remember, this show has been around for about a year now and has had like different time slots. So I have different sets of regulars that like pop in. You are my new regulars. Don't get misconstrued. You guys are definitely regulars. Lucky Luke, you are from about 4 streams ago where I got raided from Good Guy Gary, and that was fantastic. And on the Beam.pro side, Clay C and Savage King, how are you guys doing, man? What is going on? If for those of you, for you guys on the Beam side who are brand new, this is Devious Furball, my co-host for the show. Boom. Hang on.
Welcome, Beam people.
Yes, dude. Have you ever seen? How did he meet you? How I met Devious was actually during the Killing Floor 2 press semi-open beta. It was a press thing, wasn't it? I know it was a press thing because I remember I got a press key, but I'm not sure how you got your key. But anyways,
me, because I'm a fucking wizard.
There you go. You know what? Finally, it's good to see that coming out. But yeah, like we met during a press event actually when I was like super big on Killing Floor 2. And we just ended up talking, and he popped in one day, and the Daily Chat was never my actual talk show. I started streaming as like literally everybody else, playing games for X number of hours a day, hoping to get big. And then I would do the Daily Chat, which would be me eating my breakfast at 9 a.m. in the morning for 10 minutes while I talked to everyone who was just coming into the channel, which was literally no one. And I talked to myself for 10 minutes, and then I'd go play games. Devious popped in the next day. We talked for what, like 3 hours out of 6 for what the show used to go for, or my stream used to go for. Then you popped in the day after that, and we turned what was a game stream into a talk show, and that's literally how we met, and also how the Daily Chat like formed. Was we just started talking, and we just really like talking to each other. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess the only thing to add to that would be is you met me on my server.
Yes, because I was actually getting burned out with Killing Floor, and then your server popped up with like a whole bunch of like mods on it. So I'm like, oh, let's try that.
It was one of the first. In fact,
I think it was
may
the
have
first.
been the second, maybe the first or the second modded server, because well, it was at the time at that launch there was trying to find out how to host your own server was just.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
they were pretty bad. Tripwire did not.
It was mad. Yeah, it was magic and voodoo basically that managed to get them working. But eventually, you could host your own server if you were willing to put in that kind of work.
Right.
And because there wasn't enough official servers, wow, the servers were always packed, jam full.
Yep.
But yeah.
Clay C on the Beam side. Savage, we are starting the day here. It's 2:45 a.m. in the United States. Yes, and by the way, welcome, guys. Thank you. Clay C, thank you so much for the host on the Beam side, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, Classy.
Yeah, man, it's good, man. Beam's been really nice, actually. I was saying yesterday, I'm like, I would make Beam my exclusive platform if they just had the viewership Twitch does. Because literally everything about Beam is better than Twitch. Every single thing, from a UI standpoint, streamer dashboard standpoint, accessibility, everything. It's crazy. Damon, thank you so much for the host on the Twitch side. I appreciate that, man. Let's see here. There's a YouTuber named Matt Visual that recently have a small window into his paycheck without saying how much he makes. Dude, he has 61,000 subs and makes really high quality content, but he has to pick up the other odd job and doesn't make enough to pay his bills. With that said on the matter, the amount of money he makes on YouTube isn't enough to pay his phone bill. He didn't say... Yeah, once again, dude, there's... you can't look at any one single thing. I'm going to go to bed. Savage King, man, thank you so much for tuning in on the Beam side. I appreciate you, guy. Thank you so much, man. Anytime you pop in is a nice time. But yeah...
Take care, Savage.
No matter how many views a channel has, no matter how many subs the channel has, you cannot take those surface numbers and apply them to your own mindset of, oh, they must make X amount of dollars. That is nowhere near how the math of the system works. Not even close. And it's one of those things you will never know how much a YouTuber makes unless they potato it up and accidentally show you their analytics page. Because I will be honest, there's probably some big YouTubers out there who get their paycheck, who know how much they make, but they still don't understand how they made that money. they probably still have no idea how it works. Because you have to. The algorithm is always changing because people are always reverse engineering it. So Google has to keep changing it. If they don't tell you anything. Google is one of those major corporations where they'll change something and not tell you a damn thing.
Oh yeah, total mystery.
Yeah, so stuff can change on a dime and you'll never know. All of a sudden, just, hey, why am I not making as much money this time? Or, hey, I made twice as much. Hey, great. I wonder what happened.
I have a friend who's he works for Rolls-Royce.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
He's a really lovely guy. And he made £40 on his racing videos. He does racing simulators. That's his niche.
Okay.
And he's a genuinely nice guy, but he doesn't talk over his videos or anything like that. There's no commentary or anything. The only thing is maybe at the end he will sort of like go over his setup and things like that. Or just out of interest for, the people who are into that kind of thing.
Right.
And he made £40 or £42 or something like that on his YouTube channel, and he was over the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a married man with kids. £40 isn't even going to cover the shopping or anything like that. But £40 is £40.
But you made £40 on ad revenue for something that you were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
And without opening my analytics page, I will tell you, in my lifetime of my channel, which is about 1 year, I have made about $150. 100 of it I will never get out of Google. Like, they will never send me a check. And the reason why is because when I made the account and I registered the AdSense, I registered it in the USA at my old apartment, and I am now in Canada, and you can't change it. They will not let you change it. So it's like, well, I just wrote off $100. That blows. Like, I'm a little bit salty about that.
Powervidsful. Yeah, I mean, Patreon funding is a grey area because it relies on the content creator to be as transparent as possible. But at the same time, I mean, that is probably the most effective way to support the people that you like.
Patreon?
Yeah. I mean, we've said this many a time. Yeah, we've had hundreds and hundreds of viewers in this channel at various points.
I had 800 about a week ago.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and sort of like if those people, donated even 10 cents. I mean, I know that figure is minuscule,
right?
But at those kind of figures, at those kind of levels, just 10 cents is just
is a lot.
Yeah.
40 pounds to every asset in the channel is $69 Canadian. So, hey, not bad for a racing video.
Yeah. I mean, well, it is incredibly niche. There aren't a lot of people who do hardcore racing simulator stuff. And
it's actually one of those things. The racing game, not so big. But watching people who have those like epic setups with the big Ouroboros systems, do people eat that shit up?
Yeah,
like they are all about that stuff. I want streaming on the Beam side, Clacy. I want streaming just to give me proper equipment to make better streams. For something that he loves, that sucks, man. And with Patreon, it's hard to get your first person to become a It is, and I've had a Patreon for ages. I never even talk about it. I have it like just built into all my like promo stuff, but I actually never talk about it because I just don't care about it. I'm like, whatever.
But that's the thing. I mean, why would you?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we're not bad. I mean, your title of the only talk show, the only real talk show on Twitch.
It's not
we joke
wrong.
about it a lot. It's kind of not wrong though.
I've proven it time and again, man. Like. We even had a huge discussion last night when everyone was here. They're like, what do you call a real talk show? We opened up the gaming talk show channel. And we went almost to the top of the page, and guess how many talk shows we saw?
One, most.
One. And it was a handsome-ass brown Adonis in a very nice dress shirt. There was
Oh,
one.
is that what it was? Was it? Okay.
There was one talk show, and that's not even me being like, egotistical. It was legitimately just me. Everyone else was playing games.
Well, I wasn't counting you. I was kind of hoping that there would be one.
No, it was
one other person.
It was just me. It was just me before you got to like the very top of like the big streamers who were there. And,
All right. So, do we count the big streamers?
No,
like
I don't
the co-optional and things.
because they're not actual talk shows. They're just people talking to their viewers, but they're not a talk show.
Oh, right.
Like Drop Frames is a talk show. Pocket talking to her viewers and saying, "Oh my God, thank you for the tip." That is not a talk show. That is just a bitch. Like, that's just a bitch.
Well, Drew. I mean, I've been in other people's streams and said, "Hey, dude, you're under the gaming talk show thing," and they say, "Well, yeah, I'm playing League of Legends." He's got like something like 100 viewers or something like that, and so that ranks him pretty high in the gaming talk show.
Oh yeah, that puts you near the top.
But the thing is sort of like, but dude, he's their response to it is, "Well, I'm talking, Anna. I'm talking to the chat," and it's sort of like, no, that's
not how that works. In fact,
conversation. I mean, whilst I'm fully cool, I'm completely okay with having, sort of like a corner of the screen dedicated to kind of like gaming footage or topic relevant kind of video feed or something like that. That's completely and totally cool. But to just be, the usual thing, sort of like the full screen game and just chatting to chat is not a talk show.
Okay, so okay. I see the beam side. I'm going to start with the Twitch side. I'm going to move to the beam side, okay? Okay. Racing games are some fat person's face. Watching games are some idiot person's face. The number 2, people are starting to start other talk shows that actually talk on Twitch. I usually follow them because it's rare. That is true.
It's rare.
The minute you find a legitimate good talk show, please by all means point me towards them. Question, what's the difference between a podcast and a talk show? I'll come back to that. Just a gold digger, I agree with that. Could you not mix a little gaming and talking? You can, but it's a matter of which is taking predominance. Like, which is taking dominance in that. Is the game the focal point, or is the talk show the focal point? Like, if people are coming there because they see you playing League of Legends, even if it's in a tiny window, they're there to watch the League of Legends, you are not a talk show. You are pulling people in because of a game. A talk show should be a talk show. Should talk about something within the Twitch TOS, but should just talk about anything, really. Like, this show talks about politics, news, tech, everything. So that's the difference. Podcasts are much longer, usually 1 to 4 hours. Actually, that is not the difference between the two, but let's come back to that right after I read the beam side. So
we'll come back to podcasts, definitely.
Yeah. With Patreon, it gets okay. Saw that. You never know. I never knew I would enjoy a talk show on live stream. Don't forget that those bitches want to show their tits to get more tips. Tits for tips. Yes.
Yes. Cam girls.
Cam girls. All day, every day, baby. Okay. What is the difference between a talk show and a podcast? That is actually comparing two very different things. Because in fact, I'm pretty sure all podcasts are talk shows. They're talking about something. All podcasts are talk shows. It's a matter of...
I would agree with that statement, but I would say it was the level of interaction. If someone's trying to put across their point and content without interacting with chat, it's not really a talk. That's at the point that it actually becomes a podcast. Because, for example, if you and I had something scripted out and we were going, right, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that, and here are the points on this, here are the points on that, and that's the end of the show. Chat is streaming past, but we're doing our thing.
Right. That,
to me, is a podcast. But when you can still do a podcast, it's just that what a lot of people don't do is go, Bowtie Neo asks, exactly. Then the question. It's that thing, to give the listener to where the destination content is supposed to be, for example, iTunes, where the podcasts live, or something similar, to give those people content. So they don't deal with chat normally. A lot of people that I've known, I mean, hell, I've done a follow in Twitch talk shows just simply because they were an actual talk show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was technically a podcast, but they did sort of vaguely interact with chat. So,
well,
I was cool with that, and I gave them a follow quite just because of that, and that caused them to laugh.
And a good example of a podcast talk show is actually co-optional. Total Biscuit's little thing. They never reach out.
That is definitely more of a podcast.
They never reach out. They just live stream the podcast recording. Because you can listen to it on your phone because you don't actually have to be watching the screen. For this show, this is a talk show, but I read out the chat live. I give you guys names, and I just don't put it on the screen. And that way, I can make this a podcast, but it's still a talk show as a live talk show. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope that covers what you guys are asking. Clay C agrees with you on the Beam side, which is fantastic. Saying when I was setting up Beam, you know how we have like Twitch being Twitch and the size that is, everyone caters to it. And there's a website called streamjar.org, and it's supposed to be like an alert style thing. Okay, Devious, this is the most potato website for alert systems you will ever see. This thing was awful to deal with. I am not retarded. I had a bitch of a time trying to figure this site out. I sent them a tweet saying, hey, this site is awful. Go take a look at Twitch alerts and find out how to make a proper website. They sent me a thing back. Oh, well, we're just about to launch our new GUI, but we'd like to get some input. I'm like, that's fine. Shoot, let's get on Skype and I'll talk to you about it. They're like, oh, we don't do Skype. How about you click a little live chat button? It's like, no, you are not getting it. This isn't a small, like, oh, I wish this button was like moved over here. No, this is a complete overhaul of your craptacular website that you need to fix because it is trash in every sense of the word. It honestly looks like a student's first website. It looks like that. It was really, really poor. And I couldn't like even the sign up process is a bitch to deal with. Like Twitch alerts, click log in, authorize Twitch, boom, done instantly. Wow, Rex went hard on them. Dude, it's true, man. Well, I'm sorry, Clay, man. It's true.
Doesn't really pull his punches either, Clay.
No. You know what, man? This is why I'm actually pretty good at my job. Is because I'm always brutally honest. Whether it hurts your feelings or not, I'm actually not being paid to care about your feelings when I do consulting. I'm being paid to give you results. And sometimes that means I have to be super harsh about it to get the message across. Because when you start to cater to like everybody's little feelings, a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. Like
this is where me and Rex kind of differ. I'm of the mindset that yes, it is always best to be honest, but that doesn't mean you can be an asshole about it. And you, on the other hand, just don't care.
But that's the thing, though. I'm not being an asshole to be an asshole. That there's a big difference, though. If I wasn't to be a dick, I'd make sure I threw like a vaguely veiled insult in everything. It's not that. It's the fact that, like, when I was doing a consulting for an upcoming piece of software that's coming out here relatively soon, apparently, according to the timeline, when we were kicking around like pricing and modeling ideas, they threw this idea at me, and I'm like, and I even had to tell them like, that is beyond terrible. I'm like, whatever thought process led you to that, stop it right now and don't go any further with that because you're going to tank your software right out the gate. Do not do that. And it was harsh, it was honest, but it was exactly what they had to hear. Because if I said, I don't really think that's good and, it might not go over well, that's going to be like, oh, well, fuck what the brown guy says. Like, go through with it. But when you say, no, you're retarded, stop it, you tend to pipe up and hear and listen a little bit more when somebody's willing to tell you to shut the hell up. But that's just me, though.
Well, certainly in a business field, I mean, you just really, they don't come across that kind of
No, they don't.
brashness in the business field. A lot of people are, well, the stereotypical yes man.
Yes. And the beauty is, and what's funny is, it's so unheard of in the business field. I had to build it in as a contractual clause that you can't fire me because you got offended. I actually had to put it in the contract. I'm like, this is sad on a lot of levels, and this is bad, and I want you to feel bad. That, that your feelings are so sensitive. You had to sign it in that you can't fire me because you got hurt. It's like, Jesus Christ, people are retarded. I'm going through the process of StreamJar right now, and it seems to be okay-ish. If you think that's okay-ish, go to twitchalerts.com and take a look at their site. And then go back to StreamJar. And you will see everything I was talking about. It is horrific. You know what's so funny is they don't even have you've seen the Twitch Alerts page, right, Devious?
Once briefly.
Okay. It's pretty cleanly laid out. Like your follower alert, host alert, donations, sounds, all that shit's super clean, easy to get to. Go to StreamJar, none of that shit's on the page. None of it. It was like, I actually had to poke around the site for 20 minutes before I found the things I was looking for. I'm like, if it takes me 20 minutes to figure almost anything out on a website, you've done something horribly wrong with its design. Just awfully wrong. Because in 2016, nothing should take you 20 minutes. Okay, I'm seeing both side by side. Okay, great. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's a night and day difference on how much better Twitch Alerts is versus StreamJar. And I wish StreamJar would take it more seriously, but no, they're like, we don't want to get on Skype. Well, I'm sorry then. You're SOL. What was it? And somebody actually messaged me on my conversation with StreamJar, and all they typed in was the word rude. And I'm like, you right there, you're the problem. Have a more old template look. It might be old looking, but it is wildly more functional, cleaner, and easier to work with.
Well, there you have the old argument of form over function. So, I mean, what can you do?
No one has ever complained about Twitch Alerts layout. I've never heard a single complaint about it, because everyone, when you want to change something, you know exactly where to go and get it done.
Well, yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but it does the job. I mean, it is dependent on the sort of individual. I mean, if you want to make it look pretty, then, which it looks like StreamJar are doing with a tab interface, yeah, I guess. I'm no expert, so I mean, I'm just going to leave my comment on it. That it's definitely a form function thing.
Sorry, I'm just reading the. I work in the industry. I know how it goes. Usually, when they want to release as a new site, they just want the latest crap, whether it's okay or not with site function. Yeah, and that's a real big problem. They just want to look 2016. You know what? Okay, so I don't work in the industry as a developer. Okay, I don't know anything about parallaxing or any of that garbage. But, and when I say garbage, it's not meant as insulting. It's just meant as a word filler because I couldn't think of anything else at the time. But when I go as a user to work with a website, I just want it to be functional and moderately clean. I'm not looking for the greatest out there. I'm just looking for something I can work with on the fly. Because as a streamer, I don't have time to be trying to figure your shit out. I want it just to go. I want to treat it like a bank heist or like anal sex. Go in, get what I want, get the hell out. That's how you have to do it.
I think it did Bowtie.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Bowtie's wall of text, I think it may have been too large, so I think it may have... his wall of text may have been... not been posted.
I
don't see it in the chat.
I don't see it in the chat log at all.
No. The last thing you said after "sorry for the wall of text" is question what's the difference between a podcast and a Twitch
show? That's all I see. I don't see much else.
And hi, Wooly, by the way.
Hello, Wooly. How are you, man?
Joey.
Dude, I don't remember the last time I saw you, Wooly. I think last time I saw you, I was still a Heroes of the Storm streamer, or maybe I was even a Smite streamer back then. Like, damn. Oh, we have Devious again. Yes, there you go, man. Text is yummy, nom nom nom. Oh man, you guys are awesome today. But yeah, what's Clay saying here on this side? Hey,
Clay is again, because he's in the industry.
Yeah,
is arguing about sort of functionality. Word of the day. I mean, I just love it when they say, "Can you make it more modern?" What? Can you make it pop? Oh my god, that's awesome! Can you make it pop?
Yeah, yeah, or the worst word in the world.
Hey, can you stylize it a little bit? Just to put it through a little stylizing.
Like, I will fucking end you if you say that word one more time to me. Like, I will rip your throat out and I will shove it back down your ass.
I do see chat, Clay.
Yeah, like, and you know what? I've always been a proponent of functionality in style, while somewhat connected, should not be tied together. Because I've always viewed style as more of a aesthetical thing, and I've always viewed more functionality as a, well, functional thing. And you apply style to functionality, but not the other way around, which is what StreamJar has done here, where they've applied their functionality to their style and made the style the primary. No, other way around. Functionality first, overlay style on top of it. Because once again, you'll want it to be working properly. I think he said that, I think last stream, you can link Immigrant. Yes. Normally ask first, but more often than not, if you link an Immigrant, I'll take a look at it. Say I somehow hate the modern looks. I like modern in some things, like house design. I think modern's great. Website design, I fucking hate you. It's like everything about your website's wrong. Not wrong as in like wrong. It's just wrong because it's new and it's different, and I'm old and I'm curmudgeon and I don't like things to change that much. I'm like a goldfish. You don't just take me out of the bag and plop me in the water. You gotta let me sit in and settle for a little bit. Let's see here. Stylize. Not all that good. Haha. Had some tough times. So trying to get on top though. Starting my new IT study soon. I'm so excited. Hey, that's awesome, man. Good for you. And
you will not know how much you want to die until you start learning about data layers.
Yeah, that gets pretty annoying. I applied with a new company and they accepted me. And when I told them, and when I told him, he took me serious. What the hell? Oh, wow! I totally missed an entire sentence.
Clay C states. This puts context in it.
Yes.
Clay C says, last March I had a meeting with my boss. I wanted to stop working on front end and be a full-time back end. He didn't take me seriously, so I applied with a new company and they accepted me. And when I told him, he took me serious.
Gotcha. You know what, man? I have a few friends who are back-end developers back in Iowa. They love it. Back-end for them is perfect because all they have to do is create functionality and give zero shits about the style. They don't care at all.
Because dealing with front end and UI, it's a little bit.
This is why I move. This is why I've decided to focus more on like business developmental side, because it's just easier. My entire job consists of talking. Talking is what I do, as everyone here can plainly see. Talking is what I do.
Well, you run into the issue of design by committee.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, that's horrific. One person has to make the choice, and you have to answer only to one, maybe two people. Yeah. Because as soon as you start opening up and they go, oh, well, I don't like, like this tiny little thing here or that tiny little thing there, and you will make 1,000 changes, and none of it will be, because they don't know what they want. They just know that they, don't like that kind of thing. It's just horrific.
Speaking of website UI, Imgur changed their shit since I last looked at it, and it seems slightly more confusing now. I don't actually know what version of Imgur you're referring to right now because I don't use Imgur that often. This was my first real experience with it. I just instinctively knew where to go because I could just see the button because I wasn't looking prior to where it used to be, so it was easier for me.
I have to say, Bowtie Neo, the only experience of using Imgur I have is by clicking that next button and seeing the next idiotic dog or cat picture. Honestly, that's about it.
That's
that
hilarious.
next button. So I couldn't possibly comment on the UI of.
Oh, Bo, yes, I did see your Imgur, or Lucky Luke, I did see that Imgur of your connection speed. And don't worry, guys. Yes, your links will be deleted. On my end, I see your links and I can still click them. So, but I keep it because if I get bot rated, if I get rated by like somebody who's not as good as Good Guy Gary's chat channel was, I don't want Pornhub flying up my screen. So I keep it disabled, but on my end, I can still see it.
Why would you advertise Pornhub anyway? I mean,
I don't know, but I've had it happen.
It's like, yeah, certainly. Big whoop, Pornhub links. That's like my second home. What do you want? I've probably seen most of the links that you're posting. Come
on. Let's see here. You can see Beam. You want to read that whole statement out that Clacy just wrote while I take a look at this?
Clacy writes, it's child's play, to be honest. Front end is too easy to satisfy the customer. Don't put a lot of fields on the page, make a model.
What? Is that the end of the sentence? Hang on.
Don't put a lot of fields in the page.
It sounds to be honest, front end is too easy to satisfy the consumer.
A modal.
They don't put a lot of fields. Oh, okay.
So don't put a lot of fields on your page design.
Gotcha. Okay,
Devious, in case if you're a front-end developer, I'm not, dude. I just know about it.
Yeah,
I do have a friend who's a web dev, and he talks to me all the time about it.
Yeah. Devious.
You have every right to say no to certain changes. Yeah, no, yes, you do. Honestly, you really do. As your ass is on the line, and you don't just want to satisfy the customer.
Depending on
yes.
how you're within that.
I got it
field.
right eventually. Sorry about that.
Well, it depends on how. Like, if say it's a private, like say it's just me, okay, and I say I want this. You know what? One way or the other, I'm gonna get what I want, whether they agree with it or not. I actually give two fucks what you think. Not you as you, but like, you get what I mean. Like, look, you're just my developer. I say I want something, I just want it. Whether or not you think it's the best idea is absolutely zero consequence to me. You're more than welcome to put input in if you can justify it. But at the end, my call, my site, my choice. Don't like it, that's fine. Give me the files, and we'll take it to another house who will give me what I want. Because in this world, in this industry now, there is no shortage of people who are willing to give you what you want to get your money. And at that point, then, I will get what I want. I always do, and it's never stopped me before. It's not going to stop me now.
Yeah. I mean, Bowtie Neo's deleted wall of text reads, there's a show that I watched a while ago. I have no idea if these people still stream, but they called their show Contains Salt Podcast. And it was literally 3 people just sitting around a table of microphones, and they talked about gaming stuff for a while. I only watched the first episode live, and chat interaction was limited, but not gone. But to be fair to them, I think the reason was that chat interaction was limited was because a couple of asshole trolls came in and started spamming the fuck out of chat. They were just trying to ignore the trolls because none of them were at a computer where they could ban them, while one of them would text a mod to come and ban them, while the guys would just try and keep the show from falling apart. That's a bit of an unfortunate thing for that particular stream. The thing is sort of like they should always have, because it's their stream, they should always have control of chat. And it's nothing to just ban a troll. I mean, well, normally we kind of welcome them.
I have fun with my trolls.
Yeah, I mean,
I have turned a lot of
trolls. A good 90% of trolls are like 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who just want to get some kind of reaction. And they don't get that here. They get taken the piss out of them. They get torn a strip out of, and that's they either stay or they go. So.
Yeah. No, trolls are one of those, like, kind of things on Twitch you kind of look at and it's like, because of my age now, and because trolling when I was trolling when trolling was first, like, kind of a real thing in computers. And nowadays I look at it and it's like, I think I'm just too old because I just don't get it now. I'm like, trolling nowadays is like a really kind of vaguely made sad attempt to get a rise out of people. It's like, I don't get it. I'm like, man, you guys are either I'm getting too old, or just like the rest of the world, the bar has been set so much lower for you guys than where I started that it's just sad. It was a lot of spam though, like 3 to 5 messages a second between the two of them. Yeah, it happens, man. Like, it happens. And as a broadcaster, you have to kind of, and this is actually true for pretty much anything in life, you have to be able to take shock and surprise and make it look like you are never shocked and surprised. Like, you have to, like, it's almost like in those in the movies when the guys just keep walking and the explosion happens and they just keep walking and never look back, or like they're startled by it. You have to almost be like that in life, because that's when if you stream on Twitch, you will eventually get hit by trolls. If you have a webcam and you look like an easy target, they will come for you. Believe me, I know a lot of people have tried and even more of them have failed. But by God, you'll see it happen in this channel if you stick around long enough. What is it here? That's just how I type. Fun fact, lol means dick in Dutch. Well, I am super glad I know that now. Not typing. Oh, actually, hang on. I have a friend on World of Warcraft named Lull. Lull. I cannot wait to tell her that. That's going to be awesome. It's a better Twitch TV emote. Ah, gotcha. What is Clay saying on this side here? A year ago, I had that idea of the job. I created a front end for a site. It's a betting site, and they wanted the buttons to be hexagons. I said, it's not a good idea, but went with it. They came back after, oh my God. They came up to me after a full day of work to replace everything, and they said they don't like it. At that point, I said, okay, I'll switch it back. And they said, keep changing, and they keep changing their mind about the colors and stuff like that. In the end, I made the colors as good looking as they can be for their site, and with good contrast to be easily distinguishable, and they asked me to change it, and I refused. They went to my boss, and he wanted reasoning. After an hour-long meeting, they dropped their weapons and agreed with me. Once again, if you can justify it, that's awesome. Because as the developer, you are expected to be the consummate professional, and you are expected to be the authority. You are the authority, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things that if I want something and you think it's a bad idea, you need to tell me why it's a bad idea. You can't just say no. Because guess what? In the end of it all, at the very end of the day, all your company cares about, all your company should care about, is the bottom line. And if you are risking a contract, big, small, indifferent, if you are risking a contract, if you're risking money for that company, as the developer, you need to be able to tell them why that's a bad idea. No reason equals go with it. I must have lost something in translation here. And now I don't even see where that's like going with. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. As a business person, that's how I feel about it. Never sacrifice your bottom line just because of personal conviction. Don't let your personal shit get in the way of business. That's just a really bad way to go. Hey, that is also how you should act in a lucid dream. I make the best connections to unrelated things nobody cares about. I should change my username to guy who brings up stuff people don't care about. Yeah, that's called literally everyone I meet. That is everybody. If you don't have a reason to back up your refusal, go with it. Go with the change. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Boom. We're all on the same page now. Congratulations! Not only by doing my show have I prevented a rape occurring somewhere in the world, I have now also created business connections. Woo!
Well, check you out in your
For those
stuff.
of you wondering what the hell that was all just, and it just sounded super random. I don't even remember what the original thing was, but I remember we were talking about rape of some chick on a game. It was a gamer who raped a chick, right?
You're asking me?
Yes, you were there when I created this whole when I created this whole thing. I think it was like a kid raped a chick. And
I don't think it was that. I don't think there was any actual event. You came up with, as far as I'm concerned, one sort of instance where you came out and said, I keep the streets safe. My stream is the best stream in the world because I attract all the trolls of the world. And yeah.
Yes, that was it. I was going on one of my ego.
I stopped rapes. The streets are safe because
yes,
of me.
I was.
You should
You're right.
thank me for that.
You're right. I was going on one of my ego trips, and I was saying, I'm like, this show does the mankind a good thing because we all know nerds are just rapists waiting to happen, and by doing my show and by keeping you here and preventing a rape from happening in the streets, you are welcome, mankind. Can you tell Beam I say hi, please? Clay C, Damien8980 on the Twitch side says hi to you on the Beam side. Bam. And you're right. I do make people agree on both Twitch and Beam. I am a god.
You are welcome.
So, there we go.
Yes, Damien says hi to Beam Chat. Clay says hi back.
God, I'm like a fucking purelator for messages here.
Anything that you guys would like to ask Beam Chat?
Oh God, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, so like Devious, I know you and I haven't been able to talk lately, but yeah, this is actually the time I've been moving the show to trying to get ready for school because I've been trying to find a time because it's like with school coming up, it's like I'm gonna have 5 classes plus labs plus homework plus the gym, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like I still need to find time to stream at least the daily chat, if not the gaming content, at least the daily chat. So I'm like, you know what? I think midnight is like the best time slot for me. Do the show for like an hour, call it good. Jimmer's World on the Beam side. What is going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Jimmers. Good to see you again.
Wooly on the Twitch side tells you, Beam, oh, hey, Beam chat, you're all assholes. Joke, I love you all. There you go. Oh, snap, Damien. Clay's on the Twitch side now. Oh, shit. It's about to go down. Dude, I am not responsible if he fucking chokes you out with his 10-foot .net dick.
10-foot .net dick?
10-foot.
.net dick?
.net dick. Absolutely.
Wow.
You never know, man. Shit could go down. Hey, the Holy One, Devious.
You can't use that kind of weaponry on girls and on females. You just have to, like, sack women off and just go for elephants.
Oh man, did you know I was watching a list thing of like biggest shit in the world, and a fucking blue whale's heart weighs as much as a bus. I was like, holy crap, that's insane. Their tongue weighs as much as an elephant.
A blue heart whale.
A blue whale's heart.
A blue whale's heart.
Can weigh as much as a school
I heard it was a blue
bus.
heart whale. I don't know if that's what you said.
No, I said blue whale's heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it weighs as much as a bus, and their tongue weighs as much as an elephant. Like, damn, there is something you don't learn. There is something you would never learn without
drive a car down their main arteries.
Yes.
It is the largest animal that has ever existed.
Yep. It's just like mind-boggling the facts of like the shit you'll learn in just day-to-day stuff. Guys, you should consider going on Beam. Yeah, I will agree with Clay. It is much better. Significantly better. I am 16 already, an electrician. Did I do good? Hey, good for you, man.
Oh, you got your Sparkies. Oh, cool.
I have it on Tuesday, however many days.
That is good, sir. Yes.
Yes. Lady Crane, how you doing, man? I'm good. Jimmers, welcome. Welcome to the Twitch side, that is. My song weighs the same as an adult ant. Oh, man. It's good to see both are filling up now, Twitch and Beam. It's funny, though, because you know what? On the Beam side, man, my normal day-to-day viewership numbers could propel me to, like, the number 3 spot on all of Beam.pro. It's insane. It's insane how small and fledgling Beam.pro site actually is. But it's a great...
I will say this for Jimmers, though.
Pardon?
I will say this for Jimmers, though.
Okay.
Ants can lift 10 times their own weight, so good luck with those kills. You may only have a schlong that weighs the same as an adult ant, but you'll be doing them kills. You will be ripped, bro.
Yes, your dick will have a 6-pack on it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Way to be. Beam is significantly smaller than Twitch because it just launched in like January of this year. But once again, everything about Beam is better than Twitch, and I mean literally everything. The only thing that Beam doesn't have better than Twitch is a alert system that Twitch has. That's the only thing. And because everything uses CLR browser, it's not that hard as long as the API for Beam is usable, which Clay would have a better justification on that than me. On Beam, it's just /reply. Beam is smaller and better. Everything. Yes, I agree. You're not hearing me contradict you guys on that, man. What do you guys say, Davis?
Would you please shout a message out to Joey Bag of Donuts? Bag of Donuts.
Is Joey here? Joey, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm sorry, but I didn't...
his messages are invisible, so I need you to open a kind of like... I can't unban or anything. I don't have any options.
Yep. He shouldn't be banned.
Well, it would be like to ban and unban, to see if that clears things up.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me do that here for you, bud.
He doesn't appear to be timed out or banned.
Yeah, he doesn't look banned at all. Ban user and unban. Unban. Did I unban him? Did it work? It's already banned. Oh, son of a bitch. Hang on. Whoops. Rex made an error. Hang on. Oh my god. I potatoed that one right the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. There you go. You're unbanned.
You're unbanned. Okay. Try and type a message now, Jerry, please.
Oh my god.
Hey, Lady Ukraine. Welcome.
Come to us in the Ukraine country. And when I actually lived in Europe, I never went to the Ukraine. I probably should have, but it just never had the appeal to me. Plus, I always thought I was going to get shot. And it always kind of like worried me just a little bit.
I only saw the countryside briefly from when I was there.
The only place in Europe I still want to go to that I never got the chance to is actually Ibiza. But because now I'm in my 30s, it doesn't really have the appeal that it had when I was in my early 20s and could have done it. It just doesn't feel like it's worth it now.
There is apparently kind of sections for people like you, the old school ravers. Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I'm not a raver anymore, and now it's just kind of one of those things. I wanted to do it. I never did it, but I still lament I never did it. It's like, it's one of those things I can, like, instead of going there to the party and fuck my way through Ibiza, it would be one of those things now. I land, step foot, eat something, get on a plane, and take off. It's like, nailed Ibiza, got it. We're good. First stop is Georgia for you. Yes, absolutely, man. If I ever came back to Europe, I would definitely swing by Georgia to come say hi.
And Joey still says that his messages aren't showing up, so I really have to...
Dude, I got nothing.
Go over to Beam. Go over to Beam. Joey.
Go over to Beam until I can fix this after the show is done. I'd be happy to fix it afterwards. Because right now it's one of those things, maybe Twitch is just being a potato, because, that's how Twitch is some days. They really do get potato systems happening.
There you go, bro. That's the Beam link.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Plus for Ibiza, now the streets are full of vomits and you have the nice aroma of urine in the air. Yeah, that really sounds like Ibiza in a nutshell. Leave Twitch. Man, when I was at the gym today, I was working on legs I'm part of Twitch RPG, which is like their survey service that you can they'll normally trade you stuff, like they'll give you cheer points or something for taking surveys to help them improve the website, which is really just say we want to farm your data as much as humanly possible. And I filled it out today, and they're like, and it was a whole questionnaire on like, what do you like about Twitch? What don't you like about Twitch? And it was like, wow, I answered no to everything. And I didn't even realize it. I'm like, oh my God, I actually hate Twitch. Like, as a company, I hate your guts. But it's one of the things, you're the only game in town, so it's like you have to it's like Apple. If you're a huge Apple fanboy, you're kind of stuck with what they give you. You really got no other options. So, but I answered like all the stuff, like, what do you want to change about, or like, well, one of the first questions was, what do you think of Twitch? And I'm like, I typed in, it's an old boy circle jerk between Twitch staff and the partnered streamers. Which is not wrong. It's actually technically true. Wooly, thank you so much for the follow on the Beam side. I appreciate you. Jimmers, thank you for that host on the Beam side. Hello the other side. Man, I am so happy right now. This is amazing. How am I doing on Beam? Can someone let me know if I'm actually climbing? I should be on the front page by now. At 6 viewers on Beam, I actually should be near the top. Because I think the number one people on it are like, oh my God. Oh, no, wait. No, that's not me. Never mind. I thought I was like on the front page. I was like, oh my God. I nearly just like blew my load right there. Yeah, row 2. I am on row 2 on Beam. Good for me, man.
Congratulations.
I had to work my ass off to do that on Twitch, but fucking took me like no effort on Beam. Success, baby. That's how we do.
Bowtie Neo says that if you haven't accepted, sort of like done the email kind of acceptance email thing when you authorize your account, it could stop you posting messages as well. You may still be allowed to watch, but
yeah, that's right.
Talk. So I mean, your account is still incredibly young. It was created on the 16th of last month. So yeah, perhaps it may be that.
Yeah, perhaps if you haven't verified your email, actually, it could prevent you, not even on my channel, just in general, it could prevent you from being able not to talk. That is actually something I think Twitch does after a while. It's how they purge old craptastic accounts. If you haven't verified yourself, they'll kick your account off eventually. Dude, I just want to say... Sorry?
I was just about to read Jim's comment.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I would just want to say I love your Hearthstone and Witcher vids on the YouTube. Pure genius, couldn't stop. I'm glad you like them, man. It's like, what's nice is for the gaming channel, it's actually not that hard for me to be very consistent with the content. Because I just record it all as a big block, and then I just cut it up as I want to put the videos out. So it's like one of those things for the tech channel, super hard to be consistent with content, like ridiculously hard. But gaming content, super easy. It's almost like unboxing videos. They take like no effort to produce that content. I'm supposed to get my pay today. Hey, good for you, man. Gotta make that shout out.
Paycheck is a Sparky, Willie. Nice.
Yeah.
Sparky is, just for context, is something that we call electricians in the military.
Ah, okay.
Of which I am one of as well.
Are you?
Yeah, well, I was a marine engineer, so I'm a mechanical and electrical engineer.
Oh, pretty neat. Actually, I didn't know that.
I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, I have a friend who's like that. Wait, I can't see people's account creation date by clicking their name in chat anymore. Was that a better TTV thing, or I'm actually not sure. I never really care to look at people's accounts, like creation dates. It never really bothered me.
I can see that, Bowtie, so I don't, and I have better Twitch TV as well. So honestly, I couldn't answer that question for you. I see it.
Jimmers, no, you actually cannot buy those Olympic skins with your in-game points. It was only through those loot boxes. So I would have had to drop another $50 to try and get that.
Overwatch loot boxes.
Shut up. Okay? I bought the boxes. I did a bad thing. I'm not a bad person. Don't judge me. What a fucking scam. Yes, I was really, really mad.
It's really that kind of, you're seeing that a lot more. Seeing these free-to-play mechanics being crowbarred into fully paid-for games.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think that's...
I'm not happy with it. I only bought it because I will openly admit, one, I knew it'd be good content. Two, I really, really wanted Tracer's belly button. I'm sorry. I just I had to have it. Like, I
Tracer,
literally
the
didn't...
perkiest perk to ever perk.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Did you see that belly button? Dude, it was like a vagina on her stomach. It looked great. It was like one of the most appealing navels I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, you're right. It was a very much a scam, and it was just, it's terrible, terrible management. And it was brought to my attention back when it first started on like August 3rd by Jim Sterling, like about you could not pay for these skins with in-game gold, and it still did not register with me. Damon on the Twitch side, thank you so much for that follow, man. Pound it, give it to me, boom. I have got to get a second 930E for the beam side, because if you look at the cam, it doesn't look right because it's using a C920, so it doesn't have that wide field of view that you have on the Twitch side. So it's funny because like Twitch has a better camera, but Beam has better everything else. TF2 is a free-to-play game, and it's my favorite game. I did buy premium, and I'm wasting $100. You know what? That's fine, man. I bought Team Fortress 2 when it actually costed money. Mind you, there was no in-game shop, but I actually paid for it with the orange box. And I think Team Fortress 2 is worth every penny. I regret none of my choices.
Team Fortress 2 is a very popular and very fun game. And it is free to play. I mean, it never used to be. That is worth noting, though. I mean, Team Fortress 2 didn't start out free to play.
Yeah.
It was a paid-for game.
Yep. And I'll admit, though, they did a pretty good job with their shop. Now, I'm not happy about the whole weapon selling thing, because that really did kind of break the game into like 1,000 pieces. But it was a good...
I agree, but it was incredibly popular.
It
and
was.
It was just like skins for League of Legends and things like that. It's definitely something that people want.
It was.
It's proved incredibly popular.
It was, but you could also trade the weapons that what the ones you wanted. You could make the weapons that you wanted. There was multiple ways to get the job done without having to spend a single dime, which was fine. It is funny. I had so many boxes at one point in Team Fortress 2 Devious. I would do a trade for like, say, I wanted the cow gun for the soldier. I got the cow gun. I traded whatever weapon the guy wanted, and I threw in like 8 boxes. I'm like, here, bam, take these 2. I'm like, I don't want any of them. He looked at me. I actually, I traded for a sniper rifle. I did the same thing, and the guy actually gave them back. He's like, fuck you. He's like, I don't want these stupid boxes either.
Oh, this trash. God.
Why don't you use the same cam for both streams? Because right now, I have never tested trying to split a USB signal for a webcam across 2 computers, and I am... I'd have to find a way to A, do it with a cable, and B, if it's even possible to do it. It's never one of those things I've ever tried.
I think it would also be a limitation of the software being able to take...
two signals out.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how that would work. In my mind, it doesn't look like it would do well. Oh, you use 2 pieces.
At the moment, actually, the more expensive option is the easier.
Yeah, it is. Having 2 webcams. I can split an audio signal easily because, sorry, Twitch side. Actually, I'll show you guys both. Hang on. So, audio on Twitch and for Beam is all being controlled through like one set of stuff. So all I have to do is buy some cables and route cables over to the sound card on the computer. That's easy. Because my mixing disc has multiple ins and outs on it where I can split signals. But video signals over USB, very tough to do. Typically just buying a second camera is a way easier way to go. But yeah, Divas, I finally got multicasting like 99% squared away. It's actually pretty sweet.
Multicasting on Beam, you're not multicasting on Hitbox anymore.
Well, no, but when I was doing it with Hitbox, I was still trying to figure stuff out. And it was a very early prototype, but I still had a pretty major flaw with it that I finally figured out on Sunday night. Like, it just popped in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I figured it out. And because I have such a stockpile of audio cables, I didn't even have to wait to test it out. I could just hook it all up and try it right away. So I was pretty happy with that. Okay.
Beam isn't working for you, Damien. Unlucky. And congrats, Wally. Being a professional TF2 gamer, you
Oh,
earn
wow.
money doing the thing that you love. That is possibly one of the best things that you can ever do.
Yeah, that is really nice.
You enjoyed playing TF2 and being a, well, pro-level gamer, you know, earning a couple of quid here and there playing the game, then that's awesome.
Oh, there's no sync problems? Hey, fantastic, because I didn't change a damn thing. I forgot. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a quick bio break. Do you need to fill your flask up, Devious?
No, I've got a bottle of water next to me.
Okay, so can you talk to the guys while I go take my quick bio?
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'll be back.
Bowtie Neo says, I got super hyped for Overwatch when it was announced. Signed up for the beta on day one and never got into the beta. You and a million other of us, dude. Oh, wow. Rex would have sold his right arm. He probably would have chopped it off on stream to get on that beta. My word. And you go on to say, you never got in. I did play it in open beta right before the game came out, and I hated it. I think the game is dumb, and I don't understand why people think the game is even fun. Just my opinion, don't hate. Well, actually, Bowtie, I kind of agree with you. I really enjoyed the game when it first came out. I really liked the idea of players being counters. It was one of the first times. Lots of other games had kind of taken a small foray into those things. For example, Dirty Bomb, which is another free-to-play game, if you guys don't know. They have very, very different classes, but it's still the whole kind of the Holy Trinity. You know, the kind of DPS, the medic, and the tanks. It's that kind of thing. But they kind of lowered it down. They kind of smoothed it out because they didn't want it to be quite as adventurous as Blizzard went for. Blizzard went for the hard counter, you know, sort of like a ferret as a counter for a Torbjorn kind of thing. They went for a more hard counter kind of thing. Oh, a Genji is a counter for a Bastion, so hard. But yeah, they went for the hard counter, where other games didn't quite go that deep into it. That's the kind of thing, really. But I have not quite decided yet why I have gone off Overwatch. I think it may be because I think it's like the player base and the matchmaking, to be honest with you. I don't have anywhere near as much fun as I used to. I seem to be getting matched up against really hardcore, high-level players. So every match I go into, it's a complete and utter stomp. There is no kind of, there's no like, fight for the point, fight back, they cap the point, you cap it back, they cap it back. There's no kind of like balance where it's well fought either way. It really seems you either stomp them or they stomp you, and that's not fun for me. There are people out there who do find Overwatch, we're talking about Overwatch, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
There are people who, like, for them, winning is fun. The super competitive types. But for me, casual play is not a place for them anyway. So, yeah, I haven't quite worked out why I've fallen out of love with Overwatch, but I've certainly have... I'm not enjoying the game anymore. The games I do play, I mean, I can play a handful of games, and then it will just annoy me. I mean, from the bullshit fucking Hanzo headshots to, that'll get you around corners, to the Junkrat hooks that will get you around corners. Sorry, the... Roadhog hooks that'll get you around corners and things like that. So much bullshit shots in the game. They annoy me as well. But
Right.
again, at the same time, I'm not sure why I've started to dislike the game. I haven't quite hit the nail on the head yet. I think it's more the player base that annoys me than the actual game itself. but there is a large chunk of the game that does annoy me.
Now, Bo says, I want to love Blizzard. I really do want to love them. But the last game that I enjoyed was Diablo 2. If you like Diablo 2, I think you'd actually like Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is essentially just Diablo 2. It's actually really fun. I have a blast with it every season. I have an absolute golden time with Diablo.
Well, yeah, it's all right.
Repeat entry, what's going on, buddy?
I find it no deeper than a clicker game.
Well, that's all Diablo 2 was at its core. Like,
yeah.
Once you played Diablo 2 story once, all you did was farm Bale for your weapons or Pindleskin for your weapons. There's literally no difference. But
I mean, I call it no better than a clicker game, but that isn't a bad thing. I mean, clicker games, everybody has, well, me anyway. I sometimes I want a game that I can switch off and play. You know, something that doesn't take, a whole lot of, kind of like deep kind of tactical thought and things like that. I don't have to focus a whole lot on.
Right.
I actually like games that I can switch off and play.
Yeah. Evening all, what's up, repeat, said that. I have to go now. It's for hey man, Damien, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate you for even popping in. Dude, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Damien.
Torchlight is really fun. Actually, Lucky Luke, I'm actually going to be playing Torchlight 1 and 2 for my YouTube channel. I have a whole bunch of games I'm interspersing between, so that way I don't like burn out on one particular title. So I'm actually going to be doing Torchlight 1 and 2 because I think those games are super fun.
Clay says, Darius, you know what I ended up playing? Minecraft and Rocket League. Doesn't make you a bad person, Clay.
Actually, I've been playing the shit out of Rocket League. You can shut your whore mouth. I have put... Let's find out how many hours of Rocket League I've put in the last, week. 2 weeks, maybe.
Rocket League is a lot of fun. It's a very, very fun pick-up-and-play game. And Minecraft is...
okay, look,
it's
Minecraft...
not my personal taste.
For Minecraft, we all make mistakes with our lives. Don't worry.
Well.
Just move on.
No Man's Sky is a game that had too much hype, but is too repetitive. Clay, I would tend to agree with you on that. It's not that it's just repetitive because it's Minecraft. I mean, there is... In fact, that's wrong. That's an insult to Minecraft because Minecraft has some depth to it. There is no depth to No Man's Sky. I own the game and even got a refund on it.
I have put 21 hours in the last 2 weeks on Rocket League. That's how much I've been playing. And I'm not playing competitive. I'm just dropping in and out, but it's just so much fun.
Well, it's a very fun drop in and out game. It honestly is. But
sorry,
yeah, No Man's Sky is, how big is the galaxy? It's something like, 18 billion stars or something like that. Yeah, it's 18 billion miles wide.
It's like
100
quintillion planets.
Yeah, it may be that broad, but it's like an inch deep.
Yeah,
there is
it's really shallow.
Yeah, it's an incredibly, incredibly shallow game.
And Clay says,
I strongly encourage you, if you do buy it, keep in mind that the refund policies on Steam are, don't go over that 2-hour mark unless you're sure you want to keep it.
God,
it's tickled your fancy.
That's hilarious. Keep in mind the 2-hour mark.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm seriously saying it. I mean, because it's actually its breadth. The fact that you can go anywhere is wonderful. It really is. And it grabs you, and it grabs your imagination as well. You can go, oh my God, I can just go here and stuff like that. But you don't. You get caught up with sort of like going and exploring and laser blasting a rock and laser blasting another rock and then another rock and then another rock.
No, it's really boring.
And refilling your ship and so on and so forth. And refilling your ship is possibly one of the most demanding tasks of the game. You have to do so much of it. Every liftoff off the ground uses up 25% of your fuel.
What? That's insane.
So you can imagine, just from me saying that, you can imagine how much farming for fuel you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
For every ship takeoff takes up 25% of your fuel.
Jimmer says, I use Minecraft as a teaching tool. Minecraft, for all the shit I give it, for all of it, as anything else other than a game, it is absolutely wonderful. It is a major step forward in so many different fields. Just as a game, I refuse to give it the credit because it's not a game. It is virtual Legos, and I stand by that assessment, and I will not budge on it whatsoever. This is one of those times, as the person, I don't have to justify my opinion. I'm just gonna stand by it.
I enjoyed watching. Bowtie Neo says there are a few D2 speedrunners that I enjoy watching, and I actually did enjoy. It actually puts me onto the subject of some of games done quick. I actually enjoyed quite a few of the games that were in there. I tend to only watch the more modern games because as soon as they start going on about like Mario and shit like that, I'm like switch off, find something else, don't care. Because, yeah, it's so dumb.
Right.
But, the old 8-bit games and things like that, I prefer my games a little bit more modern. So, like, the Fallout run-throughs and things like that, they were more my flavour.
Right.
Repeated Entry says, NMS is a game that has suffered overhype due to No Man's Sky, obviously.
Yeah.
Overhype due to excessive PR, which by part was pushed by Sony. I agree with you, Repeat, to an extent, but there was also the fact that they didn't deny either. There's a lot of things, and I could show you. It'll be in my Reddit pages. But it's going to take me a while to find it. Seriously, there is a list as long as your arm of the things that were promised for that game and the things that were mentioned for that game that completely have not appeared. They're the things that were mentioned that that just don't exist in the game. And there is such a thing called lying through omission. That's I just kind of I didn't go into the game. This is the thing. I didn't go into the game thinking that oh my god, this is going to be the best thing in the world ever. But I didn't. At the same time, I didn't want to babysit my ship all that much and things like that. I wanted to explore a universe, not basically planet hop these 18 quintillion planets.
When you boil it down, here's what No Man's Sky turned into. No Man's Sky was pitched as this giant explorer, for all of us, and I mean all 7 billion of us walking the planet Earth today, we all fall into the same category. Born too late to explore the planet, too early to explore the universe. All of us fall into that. There's no questions asked. This was supposed to be our kind of power fantasy to travel the stars and see all these planets and like do all this stuff. And instead it turned into management simulator number whatever the hell for the year. It was really all it was. And it burned a lot of people. It burned a lot of bridges. And that is really, when you boil it down, that's the problem with No Man's Sky. It was something people knew that in life they could never do ever. None of us are going to get to explore planets before we all die. So this was supposed to be our way of doing it, and it just totally potatoed it right the fuck out.
Repeated Entry says, very true. A lack of clarity helps promote imaginative hype, dreaming of the perfect game. I could give you a Peter Molyneux example of that. Every game that Peter Molyneux has been involved in, he's a very popular, famous, and competent developer, I feel.
Oh, whoa! Let's not overstretch on this.
Wait, let me just about the Peter Molyneux talks a good game. The games that he's done, things like Black and White, Fable, all those kind of things, and the things that he said would be in this game. Actually, look, it brings up Fable and just a little bit lower down. But yeah, he was involved in all these games, and I genuinely wanted the game that he talks about. Honestly, I really do. The game that he talks about, shit like trees growing in real time, that's a non-thing, right? That's a complete non-thing. But to have that level of depth in a game is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I've just seen the picture that you brought up. So yeah, it's a horrible thing. It's the disappointment of buying the game that you thought it was going to be. It was going to bring up all these things, and yeah, it's
It was,
It's a shame. It really is. Because I genuinely wanted to play the game that Peter Molyneux wants to make. But, yeah, he can never make that game. It's always too much and too complicated.
He promises the moon, and he just can't deliver.
Yeah. No, he can't. No.
Refreshments, man. What's going on? How you doing? Peter
Yeah,
Molyneux
and
overhyped
he did hype the shit out of that dog.
Yeah, he did. Okay, we are really backed up here on the chat. Okay. You're gonna take Twitch, I'm gonna take Beam, and we're just gonna speed run through all the like the comments that we missed. Last time I think remember is Torchlight is good. That's the last thing I remember us reading. So go.
Lucky Luke says, does anyone think the Fable is still actually great, both graphically and genre-wise? Anyone else? Bowtie, I never bought into the hype of No Man's Sky. I saw something about it a while ago that was like, that's stupid, and moved on with my life. Yeah, fair enough. Repeat entry says, The Cube. Let us never forget The Cube. Clay says, when a game has that much hype, I know it will suck. Yeah, I mean, that's
a good way to think about things.
Yeah, we're that jaded now. We've all been promised the moon, and it's all been, there's so many broken promises that as you kind of mature as a gamer, you just don't. You don't believe anything anymore.
I view game hype the same way I view movie trailers now, like especially ones from like people like Michael Bay or like Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
It's like I view the trailer, I'm like, okay, well that's the whole game. Great, I just saved myself $60.
I've seen the movie. Rain comes in with Peter Molly overhyped the shit out of that dog in Fable 2. Very true. The knife dug in deeper because it was an indie dev that nobody knew about, so nobody had expectations. I think that's the comment on No Man's Sky, because they were a development house out of nowhere. And Bowtie, you know what other game had that much hype? Diablo 3. That's why I didn't buy it. Stupid game.
Okay.
Right, you go.
Okay, let's see here. Devious, I agree. I'm assuming we were talking about something. Only 21 hours. That was 21 hours in the last 14 days, okay? So I'm pretty proud of that, because you gotta think, each game is only 5 minutes long. No Man's Sky is just a bunch of crap, in my opinion. I won't buy it. Let me say something here. I actually pirated it to see if it's good. You're fine with that, man. 3 hours later, I deleted it. Not even worth $0. Yeah, that is very true. No Man's Sky is such a disappointment of a game that even if you got it for free on Steam, I would tell people not to take up the hard drive space. The hard drive space is worth more than that. If I bought it on Steam, I'd be doomed. Yes, you would. Oh, and don't forget the inventory space restrictions. You would probably have a better idea than that.
I do, yes.
Jimmers agrees with me about the whole Minecraft rant, that Minecraft is not a real game, but in every other aspect, it is fantastic. There's not a single carnivorous animal in that game. That sucks. And I prefer if they had millions of planets, but they had more shit to do on them. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People would have definitely settled on millions of planets instead of quintillions of planets if they actually had more than 80 yards of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, that was a lot.
It doesn't even have the basic trash shit that every other Steam survival game has. The building huts, the punching trees for hours, the fucking, all that other survival shit that's crowbarred into every other fucking Steam game.
Speaking of survival, H1Z1's coming out of early access. Like, oh my god, a game on Steam is finally coming out of early access. If I had a Hallelujah sounder, I'd be playing it right now. It's amazing.
I'm still skeptical. I think.
Look, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's leaving that little blue tag.
Out of early access.
Yeah, I just got the email just a few days ago, or like a day ago. But yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, I thought it was actually out of early access like months ago when they broke the game into 2 parts, which I still think was very dumb. But I see why they did it though, because I'm with. Who was it? I think Total Biscuit said it, or maybe it was on Drop Frames. I think it was Drop Frames. But they're saying the reason why they broke it is they think that they're eventually just going to shut down the survival part of that game and just focus on the King of the Kill mode. Which is smart, focus on the one that's bringing you in the money.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Sniper Elite 4. I didn't even know they have a Sniper Elite 4 coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sniper Elite has proved a very popular series.
Yeah, strangely enough, right? Like, not popular enough to be talked about colloquially, but popular enough to keep getting sequels.
It's kind of the thing that sort of like, it's not your AAA game.
Mm-hmm.
It never has been sort of like, you know, the Fallout 4.
It's like a
or,
double A
you know,
game.
Yeah. But still, there's so much fun to be had by shooting people in the testicles.
Yeah.
That slow motion nut shot. It's just, oh.
You'd expect that they could at least vary the gravity. I was very shocked they didn't do that. I was blown away that they didn't change the gravity. What was that Rocket League time? You pleb, here's my Garden Warfare 2 time after making a new tune. It's Garden Warfare 2. We can already assume you've made plenty of mistakes with your life. 30 hours. Over the past one day.
Day? Holy cow.
I don't know how
Is that even possible, seeing as there's only 24 hours in a day?
I think it might be like how World of Warcraft calculates time, kind of thing. Like, you know, in my time playing World of Warcraft, I have like, you know, 10,000 hours logged in, which is like 8 years and something odd. Guild Wars 2. Oh, well, we all make mistakes with our life. Don't worry. No one's judging you here in this channel, at least.
Well, even so, I mean, that is respectably hardcore of you.
No, there is. Look, it's clearly a game you enjoy, and that's really, at the end of the day, that's all there is to it. Do you enjoy the game? Yes, you do you then. Don't let any of us judge. Don't let any of us like sway you.
Oh no, we will judge you. We will.
We will judge you, but don't actually take it seriously.
Yeah, but don't take it seriously.
Oh man. So, in the course of what is it now? It is now September 2nd. In 2 days, World of Warcraft went from having almost 200,000 people in its channel to 45,000 on Twitch.
Yes, because the new expansion dropped.
Yes, and it has been blowing up lately. Tally's doing 240 hours of streaming between him and D. Carter, who's another big WoW streamer. Soda Poppin' did 32 hours straight. Lyric did 24 straight. So did all the big streamers. Every big streamer on Twitch was in World of Warcraft the other day. It was actually really a sight to behold, because you normally don't see that kind of like competition in one game like that. And I was just like, I just looked at him like, dude, this is like, if you're like a psychologist or one of those like garbage social art majors, this is a great thing to study right now. Because it is it's a great way, especially for like marketing psychology, on how to build hype for something. It was a fantastic case study, because you look what happened. Like 200,000 people for a game's launch. That's insane, especially for a game that's 12 years old.
Well, I mean, look at, I mean, you can't argue with the metrics. That's why esports has started, ESPN has started doing esports. They have come out and said that they want to be the ESPN of esports.
Who did that?
Yeah.
No, who?
But,
who? I missed the name.
ESPN.
They want to be the ESPN of esports.
ESPN wants to be the ESPN of esports, yes.
Okay, now we know why I totally whiffed. Okay, got it.
The thing is they had, I can't remember the exact figures now, but it was something like 30 million for the League of Legends finals.
Yeah.
And that's, even the Super Bowl only clocked like 12 million or something like that. Yeah. So you've got to start asking yourself, right, I mean, these figures, we need to get in on this. If there's that many people watching it, then...
Well, my sister came over to the house the other day, and we were talking, and she was saying, she's like, oh my God, I saw this like esports thing on the news. And I just looked at her, I'm like, yes, I know. Like, you know, doing what I do, I keep a pretty close eye on all of these things. And like, because they always hear me talk, but they always think it's just a nerd talking about video games. And then they see it on the news, and it's like, oh, it's like, when he says it's big, it's like big. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah. Like,
It's like public people, real people
like
big.
if it was like Riot Games can be listed on the NASDAQ as its own entity kind of big.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's insane how large esports is becoming. And unfortunately, in the pack of the MOBAs, right at the very last spot is Heroes of the Storm. A game that had all the potential in the world, and they pissed it all away.
Yes, in fact, Manchester City, Jimmers World states that pro football, soccer teams
Gay.
are now signing esport players to
Yep.
play FIFA for them. Manchester City was the first team in the world to sign esport players.
Yep. I heard about that on Reddit, actually.
Mm.
I wish Garden Warfare had a bigger fan base. Honestly, it looks like a fun game. It looks fun. I just really didn't like the microtransactions in it, so I didn't play it. It tracks the time to the minute, but it only advances 1 day at a time. So what it says is I played 30 hours in a 48-hour time period. Damn, son. Gotta get your sleep.
That's a good effort. I mean, if there's some kind of event on you,
And it will
you kick the ass out of that game.
And repeat entry says, and it will drop down after a month until the next expansion, the Circle of Life. Next after a month, dude, it's at 45,000 right now, down from 200,000 just 24 hours ago. It will be back to its number 8 spot on Twitch by next week. Mark my words. As Devious, when it comes to like these gaming metrics, I'm pretty good at this now. I've actually got it kind of down to a science. ESPN wants to be the ESPN Kappa. Yes, exactly. You and I heard the exact same thing.
Yes.
I had some stupid statistic with that tune that after about a month, it had around 12 to 13 hours a day logged every day. Dude, that's ridiculous. That's way too much. It's just the natural program. Yep. Also, it kicks you for being AFK, so you can't really fake that kind of stuff by leaving your computer on. Damn, that's insane.
Well, like I say, you kicked the ass out of that game. You must really enjoy it.
You must really like Guild Wars 2, which, hey, good for you, man. Oh, digestible media. Yep. Let's see here. I saw Beam blowing up here in a second ago.
Have you chaps talked about Deus Ex: Mankind Divided?
Touched on it. Haven't played it yet. We'll touch on it right after I catch up on Beam side here.
Oh yeah, we'll catch up on. I was just
So yeah,
a possible subject.
Clay C, yeah, when we say big, it's freaking big. When I was talking to a friend of mine about League of Legends, he always be like, yeah, sure. West Ham have just done yesterday too. I'm guessing for the signing.
Sports players for football, yeah.
They're using the transfer deadline day to finalize the contract talks. Esports came to Malta. Statistics were released, and the Maltese public, in a more...
The Maltese public never...
Oh my god, wow. Sorry, I'm trying to read this here and I was like, huh? In a more Maltese public, and he was like, dude, that game is huge. It's freaking... Yeah. Exactly. Check Beam. I'm checking Beam. Okay, guys, if you see my eyes like darting back and forth and I'm like giggling or laughing, I'm reading your chat if we're in the middle of a conversation. You can see, though, we eventually come back. I make sure we cover it all. Anyone else play Blade and Soul? I don't speak Korean, so I don't bother. Game marred by a publisher, heavy-handed marketing strategies. Which game are we talking about here?
I think repeat entries commenting on Lucky Luke about Blade and Soul.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, there's things like BDO, Black Desert Online, which has made a few waves recently. If you didn't know it, Black Desert Online was a paid-for MMO that steadily fell into the free-to-play kind of
market space
stuff. Market space, yeah. It actually went that way over in the sort of Korean service. It was already like that over there.
Okay.
But the European devs said, no, we're not going to do that. This game will never be free to play. Sure enough, like 8 months later, it's starting to shift that way. They bring in a subscription system. which people hated, the community hated. They bring in, all these kind of different things and loads of pay-to-win stuff on the store, actually paywalling, so you can't actually be competitive in PvP or PvE unless you buy things from the shop.
Oh.
Yep, serious bad decisions on this, and is basically resulting in a mass exodus from BDO, Black Desert Online. It's really there's a lot of angry people out there about the broken promises from developers.
Youch, that sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Stupid Mystic Share gave me garbage after I gambled away 500G trying to get stupid staff. Ouch, that sucks. I played to max level, then I quit because it took up way too much space and the time. For one game, it added like 20 gigs with all of it. Yeah, dude, that's an MMO. When you play an MMO, write off 50 gigs of your hard drive. Just write it right off. You're not getting that space back. I wanted a goddamn rainbow staff to go with the sword and black hole. It gave me regret, disappointment. And Square has pushed to expand Deus Ex as a franchise in a similar sense as The Hobbit. Extend, monetize, create, steady consumption. Okay, we're going to talk about Deus Ex right after I read this one. Oh, Jimmers is just warning me about Pokemon Uranium. That's fine. Okay, Deus Ex. You have played it. I have not, but I did watch Co-Carnage's 51 hours of gameplay about Deus Ex.
Yes.
So, what did you think? Because have you beat it yet?
I will start out this. I haven't beaten it yet, but I will start out by saying it's possibly my game of the year.
Okay.
The reason for saying this is I remember playing the originals. I'm not fresh into this franchise. I played the originals, and the originals had a very unique thing of having so many different ways to solve a problem.
Right.
Imagine it like Hitman. Imagine sort of like, okay, you've got to take out this guy. You can, go in all guns blazing and shoot him, or you can lay a trap, or you can poison its food, or you can...
Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of stuff.
Crane drop on the house, fucking, all this crazy shit. You can't do so much anymore in the more modern games. But in the older games, there were a lot of avenues of entry. The creativity was wonderful. And they have Deus Ex Human Revolution, the game before this, Human Revolution, they were lambasted. They got a lot of shit from the community. The developers got a whole lot of shit from the community because their idea of map design was, okay, the problem is like 10 foot in front of you. You can shoot it, or you can... Oh, look to your right, and there's this little panel here. You can sneak around it. It was kind of that level of stealth and getting around. It was basically a corridor shooter, almost. They got a lot of shit for it. And when they came into Mankind Divided, they've taken all that feedback, and this is a genuinely wonderful thing. They've taken all that feedback and used it. I'm amazed. They've actually taken the feedback from the community on all the things that made the game bad and what made it bad compared to the game that stands like over a decade ago, almost 2 decades ago, that was released that far ago.
Right.
The reasons why that is still better than Human Revolution. And they've used it. And it's actually a damn good game. But let me clarify this. You can't go into it thinking it's a shooter. You're very weak. People who go into it thinking it's an FPS are going to get
rolled.
Lots, yes. So you're actually supposed to find alternate routes. You're actually encouraged to find them. So I think it's a genuinely wonderful game. Genuinely wonderful game. But there are a few hiccups with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the devs, I cannot praise them enough, because hours after the game was released, a hotfix was released. Mm-hmm. There was some more bugs found that was reported the day after some more fixes were released. A few days after that, a few more fixes were released again to fix more problems. They're actually working on the game after it's released as well. They're not waiting like 3 months to release a patch, or never if it's a Koei Tecmo game.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to just pause you here for a sec because I just went to check where I was in the talk show channel. God, this comes back to that whole what belongs in the talk show channel, what doesn't. Amazon Pilot season 24-hour marathon.
Oh.
Why the fuck is this not in creative? In what universe is this a talk show? Like, honestly. And I don't know what this fucking idiot down here is doing. I got no idea what this idiot with the waffle in his mouth is doing. It's like, oh my god. Just, wow. Twitch cares so little about this category that they shove their own shit in here when they have nowhere else to put it. It's, yeah. Sorry, I had to bring that up because it was just like, I saw it and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about bug fixes and all that.
The talk shows thing is...
It's cringy. Did you ever see the mod app I made for that? Where I made a video to become the moderator for the gaming talk show channel?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No, but you gotta admit that all the points I brought up were pretty legit. Yep, exactly. I'll take your silences out. I'll take your silences agreement.
But, go on then.
But like you're saying though about the bug fixes with the Deus Ex.
Well, yeah. Back to Deus Ex. It's I'm actually amazed at how they're actually taking care of the game. How they actually seem to care. How they've taken on board the failings from the other game,
right,
and brought it into this one. I'm genuinely amazed by it.
Well, I think because who makes it? Square Enix is the developer and publisher of that. It's like they've been kind of plagued with a little bit of bad PR lately with the whole Final Fantasy shit.
Square Enix aren't what I would call a good developer who listens to the community at all.
They're having to play like, placate kind of thing with their community, which is good. Hey, if that's what it takes to get, then yeah, so be it. But from everything I've heard and everything I've seen, it looks like a good game. The ending was super abrupt. Like, it's like, wow, that's the ending of the game. Okay. So yeah, but I thought the storyline for it was fantastic, and it was a very fun game to watch. I enjoyed the hell out of watching it. In fact, the notes I took from Deus Ex, I'm actually applying to my Witcher playthrough. So it's actually how I've been playing The Witcher, and I've been just having a blast with it.
Yeah.
Half-Life 3 or Riot. Yeah, you know what? You need to go watch that movie Interstellar. There's a planet there where 1 hour is like 7 years on Earth. You need to go there to wait for Half-Life 3. Gaming talk shows is the most miscellaneous category for most people, apparently. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is the whorish dumping ground of Twitch. Like, they dump all the toxic waste here. It's pretty bad. If there will never be a Half-Life 3, it would affect me in any way at all. Yeah, I'm sure it would. Ask my brother in arms to pull out the pitchforks and help get rid of with these cancers. Yeah, dude, it's... One day, you know what? It might take me another year, 2 years to finally get a hold of somebody at Twitch, but somebody at Twitch will one day actually have to sit down and have a conversation with me about this goddamn talk show channel. Because I want some freaking answers.
It really is the Wild West. I mean, if you tried to pull this shit in the creative channel, you'd get your channel...
oh, dude, I would have been banned instantly.
Banned, yeah. A long time ago.
But yeah, like, God... And periodically, I messaged Twitch on Twitter with that video link. I'm like, still waiting for your reply. Still waiting for your reply. I'm like, somebody's gonna eventually see it. Either somebody's gonna see it, or they're eventually gonna block me. One of the two is gonna happen. And the day they block me, I will raise absolute hell. I will create so many goddamn accounts on Twitter, and I will spam them with that video. If at nothing else, I will claim the ad revenue from that video by making them watch it.
I'm not suggesting this, but I am aware, I think, of kind of retweet bots and things.
You know, I will set one of those up too.
Yeah,
Oh, look, I'm not above
Get your
shady
message out
tactics. I am not above shady tactics at all. And whatever it takes to get the job done, I will by all means go through and get the job done.
Well,
Because that's all that matters.
Technically, it affects you personally. I mean, I have no problem with those gamers out there that want. Honestly, I have no idea why they're in the gaming talk shows. I genuinely have no idea.
Because, like Refreshment says, there is no miscellaneous category. We are the miscellaneous category.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to look at it.
Like, that's the one thing we need. What the hell? Oh, that's just, whatever. Yeah, like, that's the one thing we need is just create a miscellaneous category for people to go dump their crap in. I still play Half-Life 2 online from time to time. Does anyone still play Half-Life 2? Like, is it just you and a bot running around, or is, like, actual people playing it? You know, I've never actually played the Half-Life series. Never once. I bought Half-Life Original. I bought the Half-Life Original just so I could play Counter-Strike. But I actually never played the game.
Well, unfortunately, you're missing out on basically some story and some story arc that molded gaming. The physics in that game, whilst hokey now, were the best thing ever.
Yeah. No, I've heard great things about it. I'm not knocking it at all. In fact, I started playing it when I first installed Half-Life. I started playing it, and it was just the intro took so long. The intro took so long, I got bored. I'm like, screw it, not worth it. And I just went and downloaded Counter-Strike on my dial-up connection and just started playing it. Nah, I think most of them are desperate cries for attention. Yes. Have you ever watched the gaming talk shows? Yes, that is exactly what it is. With the changes in the TOS of YouTube-specific content creators maybe seeding their content more through Twitch and other servers, yeah, we can expect to see a lot of that coming here real soon. And yes, there's always like 5 full servers. Well, hey, you know what? 5 full servers is 5 more than I thought there'd be. So good on that game. But I just realized it is now 3 o'clock in the morning.
I remember playing the deathmatch, Half-Life deathmatch, and there was a gravity gun only server, and me and just one other person were having a toilet throwing contest.
Oh my gosh.
We're both trying to kill one another with this toilet, and we kept catching it and throwing it back while jumping around and stuff like that. And this went on for like 5 minutes, and I just stopped because, well, I was laughing. We were both laughing, but yeah, it kind of got silly.
Right. But guys, actually, I think on that note, man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I am actually fading pretty fast, and I'm trying to get back onto like a school sleep cycle where I get up at like normal people times and not noon. So on that note, guys, I'm actually gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna get going to bed. I gotta go put the shirt back and everything. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in for both everybody on Beam and on Twitch, guys. Your participation is always what makes the show way more fun. Because if it's not, it would just be Devious and me talking to each other. Or at the very worst, me just talking to myself. It'd be like masturbation with my voice. So, other than that, guys, this has been Daily Chat After Dark number 7, simulcasting on both Beam and Twitch. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in and participated in the chat channel. And yeah, I will hopefully...
No daughter of mine is going into fatty porn.
There we go, reinforcements. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch side, Twitch camera. Boom, there we go, buddy.
Haha, thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, if I'm not on tomorrow, I will for sure be back on Friday. I've got some stuff I got to do, so I might be a little bit late. But other than that, guys, I've been Rex. That's Devious. And, well, hopefully we will both see you on the next Daily Chat. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube if you haven't already, especially YouTube. Really need the subs. Okay, guys. Have a good night. Devious, you want to say goodbye?
Take care, guys.
See you guys later.